AV in your ears, that's Ambush Vid, giving you this audio visual down the most interesting street in the world. With my boy Steve, Fascination Street, you already know, let's get it. When you whip in the Fascination Street, what do you...
Hi, this is Paul Feig for the fourth time, and you're listening to Fascination Street Podcast.
AV in your ears, that's Ambush Vid, giving you this audio visual down the most interesting street in the world. With my boy Steve, Fascination Street, you already know, let's get it. When you whip in the Fascination Street, what do you...
Welcome back, Streetwalkers. This is a return appearance. In March of 2025, I had a 19-year-old filmmaker on to talk about his debut full-length feature film, Edge X. His name is J.R. Stokes, and he is back this time to talk about his new full-length feature film, Beautiful Pam. In this episode, we do catch up a little bit on what he's been doing since he was on last time, but it mostly centers around Beautiful Pam. Since he's been on, JR has spent the bulk of his time in post-production of Beautiful Pam and trying to get this film out there and at all the festivals. So that's what we talk about, mostly. We talk about this film, Beautiful Pam, where you can see it for free, some of the people that helped make it, and some of the inspirations that helped him get to where he is. We talk about low budget versus no budget versus huge films. We talk about the need for low and no budget films like this one and why he's diving into this space. We also talk about why he's not so concerned about making money on these projects that he has released so far. Again, the first time JR was on, he was 19 years old with a feature film. This time, he's 20 years old with his second feature film. This kid's going places. Check him out. Make sure you check out his film, Beautiful Pam. All throughout the episode, we tell you where to get it, and you can watch it for free. No strings, no subscribe to this or sign up for that, nothing. It's actually, honest to goodness, free. F-R-E-E, free. And it's only like 63 minutes long, so you know you have time. Again, check out Beautiful Pam by the great J.R. Stokes, available for free. And this is my second conversation with young independent feature filmmaker J.R. Stokes.
Prepare to be fascinated. Prepare to be fascinated. Prepare to be fascinated.
Welcome back to Fascination Street Podcast, J.R. Stokes. What's up, dude?
Going on?
Oh, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, you remember J.R. Stokes. He is the writer, director, cameraman, editor, producer. Like he did everything for his first feature film, which was called Edge X. And we had him on back in March of 2025 to talk about Edge X, and it was sick as shit. So because this is a return appearance, we're not going to do the whole how did you get from where you were to where you are thing. So folks, go back and check that out. Again, it was March of 2025, and you can hear his whole backstory there. But this time, we're going to talk about his new feature film, which is insane because it's been like 10 months or some shit, and he's already got another feature film. It's called Beautiful, Pam. And we're going to talk all about that and why he decided to make this film. But first, JR, what have you been doing since I last spoke with you? Besides Beautiful Pam, what have you been doing, dude?
Well, I don't think my life's that interesting outside of Beautiful Pam. I've really been very busy on getting the movie out there. That's what I've been focused on. It's funny. I shot Beautiful Pam September of 2024.
Shut your mouth.
I shot that movie before Edge X even came out. I had Edge X sitting around for a while.
Whoa, so Beautiful Pam was already shot and in the can. Probably not post-produced, but it was already in the can when we spoke last?
Yeah, I was probably about halfway done with post when we spoke last year.
You are a wily and sneaky fellow, my friend. Wow, you didn't even mention that at all. That's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy knows how to keep a secret.
Thank you.
I know Edge X was your first feature film, but I know you made a bunch of shorts and things like that prior to that. I'm still blown away that Beautiful Pam was already done. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
I don't normally talk about people's ages on this show because I think that's pretty disgusting, but I'm going to be disgusting right now. Bro, how old are you?
I'm 20 now. I was 19 when I made the movie, when I made Pam.
You're 20 years old currently.
Yes.
And when you were 19, you already had 2 feature films completed. What the serious hell? Hey, bro, you don't have a life?
No, I don't. This is my life. This is all I have to live for.
Go outside, man. The kids today say, go touch grass. Bro, go touch grass. What are you doing?
Yeah. I probably should. I probably should touch grass. This is my life, you know. I mean, really, it is. I have nothing else going for me outside of this. So this is what I wake up every day and think about, and this is what I think about when I go to bed. So that might be a little disturbing.
Oh, it's definitely disturbing if you've seen either one or both of these films.
Thanks.
Mr. and Mrs. Stokes, get this kid a therapist.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say, you're not as pale as you should be for spending all that time in a dark room in front of a computer.
See, that's surprising. I've been told otherwise.
Yeah, those people are just fucking with you. That's crazy, dude. I can't believe you're so young and have 2 feature films.
Thank you so much.
Now, Edge X, I know you filmed with a bunch of your friends, right?
Yeah, predominantly, yeah.
Predominantly. And Beautiful Pam, there's some familiar faces in there, but also some new faces, I feel like. Am I wrong?
No, absolutely. You're totally on the mark. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we have procrastinated not nearly long enough, but I'm going to do it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. Beautiful, Pam. And I'm going to keep saying it that way until I find out why that comma's there. So Beautiful, Pam is out now. It is available as of March 22nd. It's available where?
For free on YouTube, on my YouTube channel at Sid Cinematics.
Okay, you can find that link in the show notes and also how to spell Sid Cinematics in the show notes. But I have a question. You
Yes.
did this with Edge X as well.
Yeah.
Now, neither one of these films were free for you to make, right?
No.
They both cost you some money?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Just out of the piggy bank. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so neither one of these were free. Why are you giving them both away on the YouTubes?
Well, that's a great question. I feel like that's a multi-layered question I have to answer in different parts.
Oh, good. We got all day. We really don't. Keep it short. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I think that number one, ownership of my work. I'm an independent filmmaker. No one's putting their eggs in my basket for me. I'm the one trying to do that for myself at this moment, right? And right now we're seeing a lot of that across the entire entertainment industry, right? With actors, filmmakers, musicians, bands. We're not getting a risk. There's no risk being taken. There's no chance being taken on independent artists anymore. We're not seeing low budget, mid budget, no budget independent films made anymore. So I think ownership of my work is first and foremost number one, right? I don't want to lease that out to a streaming platform that I don't feel is going to move the needle for where I want my work to be shown and how I want it to be displayed, at least at this level right now. And second off, I just want my work to be free. I don't want it to be hidden behind some $5 paywall or $2.50 paywall or $20 paywall. I want my work to be as accessible as possible. Really, primarily, it's about accessibility. I want people from all over to be able to see my work. And 99% of people on planet Earth have a phone and they have YouTube installed on that phone automatically. And YouTube is free. So I want people wherever they are to be able to watch my film and hopefully it resonates with them. So primarily to answer your question, it's about accessibility.
Okay, so people in wheelchairs?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, okay, you said so many things there. We're going to hit on some of those. But,
Yeah.
Dude, the first one I got to know is, are you the first filmmaker in history who says, no, watch it on your phone? What the fuck, bro? Watch it on your phone? Come on. You got to be like, oh, everybody's got YouTube on their computer, their iPad. They have them on TVs now. You have YouTube on the television.
True. They do have YouTube TV. I don't advise against watching a movie on your phone, especially because it's on YouTube. And again, I just want the work to be seen. I don't think I'm in a place where I could be demanding of people you better watch it on a TV, or a big screen. I just want the work to be seen. That's what's most important to me. As long as someone is sitting down and taking the time and giving me an hour out of their day to watch something I made, that's all I need. And I don't give a shit if they're watching it on their refrigerator screen, or their phone. It doesn't matter, if they're giving me the time of day, that's what matters most to me.
All right. Well, I'm going to push back.
Sure.
You are the filmmaker, so you get to do whatever you want. I am not
Sure.
the filmmaker, so I also get to do whatever I want. Doesn't make sense, but here it goes. I highly encourage you to see this film, Beautiful, Pam, but I swear to Christ, if I find out that you watched it on a phone, I'm going to come down there wherever you are. A fucking phone. Are you going to do the same thing with Beautiful Pam that you did with EdgeX where you offered it on a DVD?
Yes, of course. Physical media is really important to me, and we want to try and make that as affordable as possible as well.
Okay, listeners, streetwalkers, instead of doing whatever this clown said, who actually wrote, produced, directed, edited, lit, shot, everything, he did everything on this film. Instead of doing what he said and watching it on your stupid phone, reach out to me and I will send you a DVD of this movie.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, hey, listen, we've been touring the film around with festivals. We've been very lucky to do that, and the movie looks best on a big screen. So I do advise people to watch it on a TV or, come to the premiere or, just try and catch it somewhere, that's not a phone. But if the only thing you have is YouTube on your phone, I am not against that.
Again, I got to push back. If the only option you have to watch a film is for free on YouTube on your phone, go get a second job so you can buy a TV. TVs are almost free now, dude.
That is true. My parents tell me that all the time.
I went to Costco the other day. Oh, I go to Costco all the time, but I went there. I wasn't buying a TV, but I just walked past the TVs.
Yeah.
Dude, you can get a 55-inch flat screen, whatever, HD.
It's insane.
For like $249.
Yeah, it's insane.
When I was your age, you could get a 55-inch, not flat screen. You could get a 55-inch thick-ass screen television that was the size of furniture, and it will cost you about the price of a brand new small car.
Wow.
Like $7 or $8 grand.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is insane. Now, listeners, I won't buy you a TV. Okay, so what was the runtime on EdgeX?
2 hours and 8 minutes.
2:08 for EdgeX, and the runtime on Pam, including the credits, is like 63 minutes, right?
Yeah, on the dot. Yep, 63 minutes.
I know that it's 63 minutes because I watched every single second of it. I always like to watch the credits.
Yes, I would certainly want everyone to watch the credits. A lot of great people worked on it.
There's a lot of great people that worked on it, and there's some names that I got to ask you about. But the reason that I watch the credits is because it doesn't matter if it's a small or no budget film, or if it's, a $200 million film that you see at the theater. There's so many people who work on this, and in the case of a low or no budget film, they might not be getting paid. So their only compensation is that their name rolls across the screen. So I don't even care if you didn't enjoy whatever movie you're watching, at least have their respect. To see those people's names, you don't have to read them. Hell, some of them you can't even pronounce, but at least sit there through it, because that's important to the people. But the other reason that I always, again, it doesn't matter if it's a small budget, no budget, or a $200 million movie. There's just a little tiny part of me that's looking for my name. I'll have nothing. It could be a Marvel movie, and I'll be like, is there another Steve-O? like I don't.
Yeah.
You said that the reason that you're giving it away for free is that you want to be in control of where and how this film is seen. Because you want it to be seen in the right places? I don't understand. What does that mean, where and how? I need you to dive deep on that.
Well, I think accessibility is important, right? I mean, we're in
with this wheelchair thing.
We're in a day and age where a lot of things are monetized, and people are looking to make a profit off of every little aspect of life, and that's just simply not the case. That's not what I want to be applicable to my own work. I'm in control of it. I'm in control of how it's distributed and how it's produced. Knowing that, I want people to be able to see it, man. I don't feel the need to prioritize, again, like a paywall, like a digital paywall for someone to go check out my film. I don't feel the need to do that. If I'm in control of that, if I don't have someone telling me I need to do that, then I want to be the person to say, hey, listen, go check out my movie for free, and check it out on YouTube. Check it out here or there. Go check out a screening and, in this nearby city. Check out a festival. I want the work to be seen.
Again, back to money. Sorry, I'm super fascinated by how all this works. So you pay for this movie.
Sure.
Whether or not you pay the people involved is really nobody's concern, and definitely none of our business. But this movie was not made for free. None of the festivals are free.
No, they're certainly not. They are certainly not.
So why is it that you're just not concerned with making any money back on any of these movies.
Well, I appreciate the honesty of the question. And, I do want to preface, everyone was a volunteer that worked on the film.
Everyone was a volunteer? So nobody on this movie got paid? 99%
of the film was volunteer. Yeah, volunteer based.
Oh, now that you said that, everybody who was a volunteer is going to be like, wait.
We had an intimacy counselor.
Oh, okay.
Being paid for, she was like, hey, can you guys pay me a little bit to pay for my classes to get my license, my intimacy counseling license? So I was like, okay. So some of the intimacy in the scene, we had an intimacy counselor on set for that. Yeah, we also had to pay for the graphic art as well. Listen, there are things that had to be paid for in terms of getting this film made, but, the actors and the crew, these are all people that volunteer their time.
Sure.
That's something that it really means a lot to me, and something I always feel the need to try and preface publicly is that people came together to work on this. People were passionate about the story and the characters and the work in general, and I think that's a beautiful thing, man. I really do, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
I am also very grateful to the cast and crew for both of these films, both Edgex and Beautiful Comma Pam, because they are so professionally done. None of it looks like it was just a bunch of volunteers helping out a brother. None of it looks like that. Neither one of these films looks like that. So it's impressive, and I think it's very sweet that all of these people are, donating their time. And in some of these cases, well, in both of these cases, these were filmed when it was cold as balls outside.
Edgex definitely was. Pam, we filmed in New York. September is still basically summer, so it wasn't too cold out by then.
Yeah, well, you tell that to Tom when he doesn't want to put his in the water, all right?
Hey, where'd you get that from? That's true. I'm surprised you knew that.
Yeah, I don't know why you're surprised, dude. I'm me. Come on.
This guy does his research.
Holler.
Yeah, he didn't want to put his in the water. We actually filmed the ending scene, no spoilers, but we actually filmed the ending scene in
October.
Towards the end of October.
Yeah,
so that's when it started to get a little cold in New York.
Okay, good.
Hey Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors.
Beneath a dead world, humanity's last survivors live in Subterra.
I care about one thing, keeping Subterra's power uninterrupted. If Subterra goes dark, we are doomed.
A buried city of chipped citizens, forgotten miners, and those who have never seen the sun.
You took a big risk coming here.
I didn't have a choice.
Go back home, girl. You'll get killed down here, or worse.
But in the lower levels, the unchipped have become invisible, and invisibility breeds rebellion.
We want justice for our dead!
You will learn to obey.
When a rigged trial ignites the darkness, a blind orphan, a bunker princess, and a rebuilt combat robot are thrown into a fight that could change everything.
Fellow citizens of Subterra, you are here to witness the adjudication of an unchipped bunker orphan known as Ace.
You want me to lie?
I want you to help me clear your name.
By blaming Ace for something he didn't do? He's innocent, and you're gonna kill him.
What I have set in motion will change this place forever. There will be a new order in Subterra, and it will not be kind to people like you.
No. I'm staying here.
Stay here, then. Stay and die.
Because underground, hope doesn't disappear. It survives.
Let the battle begin!
Advance!
Defend your home! Defend your brothers and sisters!
Subterra.
Available now. Download wherever you find podcasts.
Let's get back into it.
To answer your question, though, to go back to the very top about, why money is not a concern. I mean, listen, people need to survive, and I don't blame filmmakers who feel the need to have a paywall for their work, right? People need the money to survive, and people need the money to continue making more films. I'm in a privileged position where my parents say, hey, listen, you live at home for free, but you got to make your movies. That's my ordeal. That's my ordeal, is that, I'm not fighting to survive in terms of, having to pay rent. I'm living at home, and some might say, hey, you're living in your mom's basement, you're a loser. And hey, that could be true too. But
whoa, you're in a basement?
No, I'm not. No. No, but To answer your question though fully, it's not about money for me. It's about the work. I've been making films and telling stories since I'm 9 years old, and if I wanted to make money, I wouldn't be in film. I wouldn't be a filmmaker because there's really, honestly, Steve, there's no money to be made for 98% of filmmakers. There's just not. In my opinion, as a filmmaker, it's not a profession where you're gonna make money, and especially if you want to be a director. We're in an industry where if you want to be in film, you got to learn a trade, right? You got to go be a sound guy or a gaffer, and that's fine. That's great. But again, I've been directing and telling stories since I'm 9 years old. And this is something that I feel is really inherent to who I am as a person. Thus, I feel very strongly that there's no other way of life for me. And whether I'm starving and homeless on a street, this is what I need to do, So money is not a concern. The work is the biggest concern. And I hope people like it. I hope people are into it.
Well, I don't think they're going to like it. I think they're going to love it.
Thank you.
Everything that you said just there reminded me, who the fuck do I think I am? Just like you, like I do everything on this. And yeah, I mean, sure, some money comes in, but yeah, I ain't breaking the bank, bro. It's all about the passion, like you're saying. So I don't know why I'm digging so deep. Like, look who's talking.
No, that's okay. You're a great interviewer.
Thanks. Tell me about the intimacy counselor. Now, for those listening who haven't seen the film yet, there's no actual sex in this movie. Without any spoilers, where did the intimacy coordinator come into play, and why did you feel like you needed to have one?
I think that's a great question. A lot of these questions I haven't been asked before, so I'm very entertained right now.
I got you, bro.
I think safety, especially, listen, I want to say this. On a no-budget film, no one's getting paid. People are coming after they work their full-time job, right, in the daytime, and they're shooting for 2 hours at night, and they're working on this for free. They're volunteering their time. They're trusting me that I'm gonna tell a good story, right? I'm at the helm, and they're trusting me. They're putting all their trust in me. And so with that, I want people to feel comfortable. I want people to feel safe. And while there's no direct sex scenes on set, in the movie, there are a couple moments
on set.
There are a couple moments during the film where I felt, hey, listen, why don't we have someone here that might be able to lead the horses to water better than I could? It was mostly just about comfort. That's really what it was. I think, the actors were ready to perform regardless of whether or not there was a counselor on set that would talk them through that sort of thing. So I'm appreciative of that. But for me as a director, it's just about having an extra set of eyes that could even tell me, hey, listen, that doesn't feel natural. These two actors kissing in a car right now, this doesn't look natural. Let me tell them to do this instead. I was like, okay, directing, this is something I learned, Steve, from this movie is you can direct actors and you could be a good director, but directing like intimacy and kissing and this and that, and even Edge X, going back to Edge X, that's like a whole other art form. That's something like I've been learning more and more about. Like, okay, listen, I might know how to tell an actor how to say a certain line, but I definitely don't know how to tell these two actors to kiss. So I'm going to get someone on set that could help mitigate that.
You brought up Edge X, and we're talking about Beautiful Comma Pam. What lessons did you learn on Edge X that you took with you to Beautiful Comma Pam?
I love the comma. Edge X, listen, I burn myself out. I do wear a lot of hats. There's a lot of fantastic people that work on the film, but when I go home and I cut it all up together, that's me doing that myself alone for 14 hours. So I get to spend a lot of time by myself in dark rooms, isolated. In saying that, I burned myself out pretty badly during Edge X, because I would go to set and I would film, and then I'd come home and I was a maniac, and then I'd edit, and then when we weren't filming, when we had an off day, I'd edit from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. That's not healthy, man. That's not normal. So when we did Pam, not only did we have a much better assortment of just having more people on set to help me out, right? To help each other out. That took a lot of pressure off me. But also, like when we'd go home from set, I wouldn't go jump on my computer and start editing, man. I wouldn't go and burn myself out. I put a lot of focus into not burning myself out. And that's the lesson I learned going from that film to this film was, hey, don't burn myself out. I almost wanted to edit the film like a documentary. So I didn't look at the script when I was cutting the movie together, Steve. I didn't try and trace back to, well, what did we say we wanted to do again? No, man. I wanted to load up my computer and just look at what I shot that day and put it together as naturally as possible and make it feel like these are real people we're watching in the scenes. I hope that answers your question.
It did. because there's this one part at the very beginning, the beginning, this dude says,
Yeah. Yep.
1.5 minutes later,
Pam says,
I paused it, rewinded, and I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. Pam's crazy.
We talked about that. That's something we agreed that we would just chalk up to the character. Like, when you're traumatized, you don't remember it.
And you're a drug addict, and you're traumatized like a motherfucker. She almost died.
Yeah.
Sure. No, that makes sense. So besides not burning yourself out from Edgex to beautiful, Pam, what did you learn about filmmaking? For instance, how important the dialogue is versus, lighting or camera work or whatever.
I think that in terms of dialogue, right, as a director, I wanted to try and feel as natural as possible for the actors to say this dialogue, right, and to be these characters. But in practicing that, I want the actors to take ownership, right? I'm telling these actors, hey, take ownership of this. This is your character. I want you to live like this character, And we have these very long discussions for months at a time, chronicling the backstories of these characters, why they're here, what they're doing in this story. And so as far as dialogue goes, there was a lot of moments. We rehearsed the film for 2 weeks. There were a lot of moments during rehearsals where, we would improvise and we would change lines, and Tom would come to me, and Beck and Peter and Jason and these people would all come to me and say, hey, why don't we rearrange it like this or say it like this, And I had to learn as a director that what you have written on paper, it sounds natural to you, right? Anything we all write, right? If you're going to write a letter to someone, Steve, it's going to sound natural in your head, but when someone else reads it, it might not sound as natural when they say it out loud. And that's to no fault of your writing or you. That's because we're just people and we all interpret words differently. We all interpret what's on the paper differently. Again, I want it to feel as natural as possible. And so what I learned as far as the filmmaking process was learning to push and pull with actors, right? There were moments where I felt strongly that, well, no, I want you to say it the way it's written, right? And then there were moments where I had to take a moment and say, you know what? Yeah, I think it probably is better if this actor really feels so strongly that their character would say it like this, I got to trust them. And that's what I tried incorporating a lot. That's what I had to learn in making Beautiful Pam, was trusting my actors, trusting the ownership that I gave them.
That makes sense. Yeah. Just because it sounds good in your head or in your voice doesn't mean it's going to sound good in that character or that actor's voice.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if I were to say that I have been making movies since I was 9 years old, I would say I've been making movies since I was 9 years old. You, for instance, would say, I have been making movies since I'm 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's your voice. And you said it twice, so I know that that's just how you talk.
Yeah.
That's not how I would talk.
Yeah.
You say I would say I was, because I'm not 9 now.
Yeah.
And I only use that example because it was a real world example in this episode.
Sure.
But to your point, like writers and communicators don't always, just take speech writing. Speech writing, sometimes whoever, like politicians or whoever, will get a different speech writer based on the tone or the subject, but also the voice.
Sure.
I'd never ever talk politics, but some people can't pull off certain lines. Just like some dudes can't wear pink and make it look cool.
Yeah.
Some people just can't pull off certain dialogue or genuineness, right?
Sure.
Or believability in whatever those words are.
I completely agree, man.
I think that's awesome that you're giving these actors an opportunity to sort of make it their own. And like you said, take ownership of that character so that they can, maybe not fudge with maybe the intent of the words, but sort of how the actual words are coming out. So I think that's awesome of you to give that latitude to your actors, because everybody on this project is a creator in their own way. So that's really cool. You're letting them flex their creativity.
Thank you.
This film is, you keep saying no budget. So far, your whole thing, like your whole oeuvre, is no or low budget. What's your favorite no or low budget film?
Sean Baker did this movie called Takeout. He made this movie for less than a couple grand from 2004. I believe it premiered with Slamdance. Sean Baker most recently directed Anora. He swept the Oscars. But a deep cut in his filmography is this film Takeout, which was his second feature film. And that is not only one of my favorite films, but one of my favorite no-budget films, period, which he made, I think, for under $3,000. And it shows. When you watch it, it's a film that utilizes a lot of real people and a natural settings. So yeah, that's my answer. I would say Takeout.
Takeout by Sean Baker.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Glad you brought up Sean Baker.
Love Sean Baker.
We're going to talk about this new film, your second feature film, Beautiful, Pam. But we're going to go into some weird order.
Sure.
The thank yous at the remember I told you I watched everything. I watched every second of this film.
Sure.
The thank yous at the end. You thank a bunch of people who are involved, which is fantastic. You even thank your parents and the city of wherever the hell it is. Lindenhurst, yeah. But also in the thank yous, you thank the aforementioned Sean Baker, you thank Darren Aronofsky, and you thank my close personal friend, Marty Scorsese.
I have him on speed dial.
You know what? He's calling in right now. So I think you just explained why you thanked Sean Baker.
Yeah.
Tell me why you thanked Darren Aronofsky.
Well, The Wrestler is another film that is highly influential on me. I love The Wrestler. I mean, I love all of Darren Aronofsky's films. I actually most recently saw a 25th anniversary screening of Requiem for a Dream at Tribeca Film Festival.
It's been 25 years?
Yes. I wasn't even born yet.
Holy shit.
It was an anniversary screening at Tribeca Film Festival in Manhattan. Me and my girlfriend went, and Aronofsky was there. Ellen Burstyn was there. I was like 6 rows behind Aronofsky. I was thinking about bringing an EdgeX DVD. And I was going, hey, Mr. Aronofsky, but
just trip, accidentally spill your DVD on him.
I didn't get close enough to him, but his work is just incredibly impactful on me. It's incredibly important to me. Requiem for a Dream, as we spoke last year, was super influential on the making of EdgeX, and I like to think in the making of Beautiful Pam, I tried to pull a lot from The Wrestler, which is actually a movie I pitched to the lead, Tom Corsieri, the lead of Beautiful Pam. We had mutual friends, and I said, hey, listen, man, we don't know each other too well, but I'm working on this feature film, and I really want you to lead it. And if you like Aronofsky and you like The Wrestler, it's sort of in the same vein as that. And he was into it, and we did it, But yeah, Aronofsky, love his work. I think the emotional weight of his films, some people, I guess, in his newer work, some people aren't into it, but I am. I love all of his work. And I think a lot of the themes that he touches on, they're dark and they're uncomfortable. And these are things, these are things that I want to try and adopt myself, man. And
oh, you're doing it. Don't worry. Thanks. You're there. Your films are dark as shit.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.
Your film is so dark that I think your parents really need to get you a therapist.
My dad's seen the movie like 20 times. He's come to every screening.
That's a good dude.
But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
It does, for sure.
Hey, Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors.
Warning. Not listening to Fascination Street podcast may cause unexpected side effects. Side effects may include sudden fits of boredom, irrational curiosity about everything you missed, the inability to name your favorite podcast interview, spontaneous ignorance of obscure celebrity stories, talking to coworkers about nothing because you didn't hear the latest episode. Other symptoms may include excessive use of the phrase, wait, what happened? Chronic seriousness with no trace of laughter or delight, unexplainable urge to scroll aimlessly instead of being entertained. In rare cases, not listening may lead to wandering aimlessly through podcast apps, overexposure to true crime reruns, and thinking you're cooler than you actually are. If you find yourself experiencing any of these symptoms, stop what you're doing immediately and download Fascination Street Podcast. Ask your podcaster if Fascination Street Podcast is right for you. Spoiler alert, it is.
Let's get back into it.
Why did you think Marty Scorsese, close personal friend, Martin Scorsese?
Close personal friend. I grew up on his work. I mean, I literally grew up on his work. I knew of and have seen Goodfellas 100 times since probably before I could talk, in all honesty, because my parents love movies. My dad loves movies. My mom loves movies. I mean, The Godfather is on every fucking week in my house, which is not a Scorsese film, but you get the point, is that a lot of great films have been playing in rotation in my house for as long as I can remember, right? And Goodfellas has been playing in rotation, and Casino and Raging Bull. These are all films that have been playing in rotation in my house for many years. And these are films, his films specifically, Martin Scorsese's films. I think Martin Scorsese holds much value to every single filmmaker. Every single American filmmaker can look at Martin Scorsese's work and say, yeah, I take inspiration from him. And so, yeah, Martin Scorsese, he's just a director that I grew up on, man. I was watching his films at an age where I probably shouldn't have, so if that's even a thing. I love his work. I don't even have the words to explain the value that Martin Scorsese has to cinema, to filmmakers, and especially to filmmakers my age.
I think the very first, as far as I can remember, the very first time I saw a Martin Scorsese joint was in 1987. It was an 18-minute short film directed by Martin Scorsese, and it's called Bad, and it was the Michael Jackson Bad music video in 1987.
Oh, that's cool. What was it, Thriller?
Thriller was John Landis.
Was it?
Yeah, Thriller was John Landis, but Bad.
Really? I thought Scorsese did the Thriller video too.
No, I thought so too. No, he did. He did Bad, but John Landis did Thriller.
Just taught me something.
The end title card, the very last thing it says before all the don't copyright. I mean, don't give this away or I'll sue you.
Yeah.
The very last thing, it just says 3 words.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why those 3 words. Well, tell me what those 3 words, and then tell me why those 3 words.
Those 3 words are "You are loved," and it's also at the end of Edgex as well.
Why?
That's me speaking to the audience. That's me speaking directly to the audience. The end of Pam, spoiler.
The whole movie is you speaking to the audience.
Yes, it is. No, it is. But in terms of that 3-word message, that's me taking the chance to say, hey, listen, you're loved, man. Thank you for watching my film. That's me thanking you for watching my film. And that's also me saying, hey, listen, I see you. I see you sitting down and watching my film. And listen, these films I'm making, I want to try and touch on things that people go through, people from all walks of life go through. I think I want there to be elements in every story I make that even if you can't directly relate to the lifestyle of the characters on screen, you could relate to aspects of who they are at their core, right? And in saying that and having the chance to try and do that, people are going to take their own interpretations from these stories. And at the very least, if they stick around and watch the credits, as you do, which I greatly appreciate, I want them to see that I see them, I love them, and I appreciate them taking the time to watch my film.
That's a great answer. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this film is called Beautiful, Pam. Tell me why there's a comma after beautiful and before Pam. Why is it beautiful, Pam?
Well, number one, I wanted to do that because I wanted people to ask me about it.
Did you really?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you son of a gun.
That's me being snarky.
How dare you?
Spoilers. The ending of the movie ends on a letter, right? Pam reading a voiceover letter.
Okay.
And how we end a letter, we format it like love, comma, name, right? From, comma, name. And we begin a letter, name, comma, body of text.
J.R. Stokes, comma, will you be on my show again? Like that. Yes, I will, comma, J.R. Stokes.
Yes,
okay, cool.
I will. Yes, I will. Definitely. So that is the smart answer. That's, that's the answer I've been giving because that's what I wanted. We actually had an original title, a different title originally when we were shooting the movie. When we were shooting the movie, it was not called Beautiful Pam. We came up with Beautiful Pam after post or during post. I said, I'm not really feeling this name we got. It was originally called Pam Stripes, which had its own meaning.
Stripes?
Yeah, Pam Stripes. See, exactly. It's like, what? It's not.
Like these are the different stripes of Pam.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant by it, but I didn't like how it sounded. I liked how Beautiful Pam sounded a lot better.
Just you can thank your audience at the end for giving you their time. A person is smart, but people are stupid as a whole. A group of people is dumb, but one person is smart. So if you would have gone with Pam Stripes, nobody would have known what the fuck you're talking about.
That's exactly why I pivoted off that.
You did a right thing there. Good job.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you caught that though. I didn't even have to explain it. You caught that instantly. Yeah, it's literally the stripes of Pam. Right? Think of like the stripes of a zebra. That figure of speech. It was like that about Pam. But like you said, I don't think anybody would get that.
Nobody would have gotten that at all.
Yeah, even the people who are part of the movie, the people that made the movie were like, hey man, why is this called Pam Stripes? So I was like, all right, I'm going to pivot off this at some point. And we did.
Good job.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have talked about Beautiful Pam, and I said I was going to call it Beautiful, Pam until I got the reason for the comma. So now I'll just refer to it as Beautiful Pam. We've talked about Beautiful Pam a lot, but we haven't said what it's about. Here's what I think it's about. You tell me if I'm wrong. Beautiful Pam is a story about a queer sex worker going through a midlife crisis. End quote. That's a quote from you. So good for you for not saying I got it wrong. That was a quote from you. Sure. Do you think that is the logline for this movie? Is that a good representation of what we're going to expect?
Well, it's certainly the general concept of the film, right? I think that's what we see on screen on the surface. But I also think it's about family and identity and addiction.
It's definitely about all of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
sure.
And more so, even how I relate to the film and how I'm writing through Pam is about their loneliness, and isolation that all of these characters are going through. Going back to the name of the movie, Beautiful Pam, right? We understand why the comma's there, but the reason why I wanted to call it Beautiful Pam is also, I think Pam is beautiful. I think the process they go through is beautiful, even though they're flawed. Even the characters we see in the movie, they're flawed. I think there is beauty in being uncomfortable. I think there's beauty in the uncomfort, and I think it's a matter of how we get through that, and so at its core, I think the movie's about loneliness, and isolation, and figuring out yourself, right? It's not easy being a person. This might even be a quote I said the last time I was on here. It's not easy being a person, and a year later, it still rings true, I think. Being a person's hard, man. It's really hard, and figuring out how to be a person's hard. My interpretation, that's what the movie's about. Figuring out how to be a person.
To that point, figuring out how to be a person is a good description of certain parts of this movie.
Yeah.
But it's figuring out how to be a person at every age, because there's so many different age ranges in this film, and all of these people are still trying to figure out who they are. Every single person in this movie is trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah.
That said, there is not an unflawed character in this film.
Yep.
Arguably, there's not a good guy in this movie. Depending on how you look at different things, it's hard to find who's the hero in this film. Do you think don't say it, but do you think there's a hero in this film? Don't say who you think it is, if you do think was.
I will, yeah. I enjoy that question because I enjoy that you don't want me to say who it could be. But in all honesty, Steve, no, I don't think so. I don't think there's a hero, because life is not about being a hero.
That's right.
Right? There is no hero in life. There's no one coming to save each other. I mean, if we want to talk about heroes and villains and the bad guys and the good guys, I think what we need to do is just take care of each other. And that's what we see in the movie. We see the result firsthand of people not taking care of each other and pleading to be taken care of. And we don't see that, right? We don't ever see that happen. So no, I don't think there's a good guy or a bad guy in the movie. I think, as you said, these people are flawed, right? They're certainly very flawed in the sense that they're figuring themselves out, and
it's messy.
Yeah, it's messy. It's messy because life is messy, family is messy, and which is a great point you made. I really appreciate it. It touches on so many different age ranges and figuring shit out at
generations, even. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I know you said not to be specific, but even Pam's son, Paul, which the only real glimpse of Pam's relationship with Paul is the voicemail towards the end of the film. Spoilers for everyone listening. There's a voicemail towards the end of the film where Pam is, listening to a voicemail from Paul, an older voicemail. And we kind of get a sense of who Paul is just based off that 30-second voicemail, in my opinion. Paul is saying, hey, listen, I may not understand what it is you're going through, but I still love you and I still want you in my life.
He uses the word need.
Yes.
I need you. There's things going on and I need you.
Exactly. Yeah. And that
hit me.
I appreciate it. I'm glad it did, Steve. That's it, man. That's the movie right there. That, in my opinion, that's the movie right there. And that is my answer to, is there a good guy or a bad guy? That scene right there is my answer.
Wonderfully done. Why do you think this story needed to be told?
I've been asked, why did you make this film? What compelled you to tell this story? And I don't think this story needed to be told. I don't think any story needs to be told. I think it's a desire. I think it's a want. I wanted to tell this story. Everyone a part of the film had a desire to tell this story. It was inherent. So I guess that is a need, right? Being inherent, wanting to inherently do something is a need. So I'll phrase it that way. I felt this deep need at that point in my life to write about how I was feeling in life, and I'm writing through the perspective of someone who is not me. I can't sit here and tell you that I share the same lifestyle as Pam, because that wouldn't be fair to Pam, and that wouldn't be fair to those who do watch the movie that can relate to Pam's lifestyle. I'm writing through Pam, and I'm writing about myself and my own life and my own situation through the lens of Pam and what Pam is going through in their life.
Well said. This film, Beautiful Pam, again, you can see it everywhere on March 22nd. And by everywhere, I mean YouTube.
On your phone.
Oh, how dare you. Don't do it on your phone, guys. Reach out to me. I'll send you the movie.
Or on TV. That's fine, too.
This film stars, help me say this, Tom Shikari.
You want to try one more time? I'll give you one more try.
Tom Shikari. How do you say it?
Corsiari.
Shut the fuck up. Why did I write it down wrong?
No, you're not the only guy that's messed it up.
And maybe I wrote it down wrong because maybe I added an I.
I think it's Ciorciari.
That's what I have here, and it's pronounced.
It's Corsiari. I don't know. You'd have to take that up with Tom. It's Corsiari. Yeah.
Corsiari. Okay, great. No, sure. Tom Corsiari.
Yes.
Peter Konsovich.
Yes.
Beck Fordyce. And our good buddy, Cadence Meyer.
Yep.
I say our good buddy because he is the most notably recognizable face from Edge X. Was Tom in Edge X?
No, Tom was not in Edge X.
Okay.
Neither was Beck.
But Peter was?
Peter was, yep. Kevin wasn't. Alan wasn't. Jason was.
Well, since I only listed a couple of people and I really messed up most of their names, why don't you tell everybody who's in this film?
So Tom Corsiari is our Pam.
What? It's how do you say it? I'm just kidding.
Corsiari. Tom Corsiari plays the lead. Tom Corsiari was also recently a guest star in an episode of Law and Order last week. He's a Hollywood star now. He's a fantastic guy, and he's a great actor, and he's someone that means a lot to me. And Peter Konsovich as well, who plays Beetle, is a really, really special talent, a special person, a special friend. Beck Fordyce, who plays Lauren in the film, she brought such empathy, such personality, such ownership to that role. I gotta admit, Steve, the way I interpreted that role when I was writing it.
Which one?
Beck's role, who plays Lauren, right? The ex-wife of Pam. The way I wrote that role was a lot different than what we saw on screen in terms of the attitude that Lauren had. And I have to give credit to Beck for that. She brought in a whole new perspective to not only to me, right? She brought this whole new perspective to me, but she brought it to the film, to the audience, to all of us. She brought this whole new perspective on the film in her portrayal of Lauren. I thought she was great. She was great to work with.
Well, everybody in this film was great.
Yeah.
I don't know how they were to work with, but on screen, they all brought it. They all did a great job.
We had a special group of people, definitely.
I agree. Peter... he is such a good guy. He's the guy you want in your corner because this is the guy, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever need this done, give Peter a call. He will go outside and tell the landscapers to knock it the fuck off because we're shooting our last day of this film.
You certainly did your research. I appreciate that.
So good on you, Peter. That's the guy you want in your corner.
I certainly agree.
I will say the first thing that struck me, and it was the first note that I wrote as I was watching this film, again, Beautiful Pam, available on YouTube for free on March 22nd. Yeah. With a running time of 63 minutes, guys, there's no excuse for you to not watch this movie. By feature film standards, it's a fairly short film.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that.
Oh, yes. 5 minutes into this film, JR.
Yeah.
And I wrote this down. Not the Jim and Pam I was expecting.
Jim
and Pam is from The Office, which was shot in a mockumentary style. And then this film is sort of in a documentary style as well.
Yeah.
But it was definitely not the Jim and Pam I was expecting at the beginning of this movie. I tell you what.
Yeah.
JR, I don't like to ask this, but now I feel like I have to because you got away with it the last time. The last time you were on, we were talking about Edge X, but you already had Beautiful Pam in the can. Now we're talking about Beautiful Pam. Now I got to ask, do you already have your next movie made?
No, I definitely don't.
Are you lying to me, bro?
I definitely don't.
Oh, he's crossing his fingers, guys. He's crossing his fingers.
I definitely do not. It's going to be a while before I can come back on here. So, I'm focused solely on getting Pam out the door. The last time I had the chance to come on here, had the privilege to come on here, Edge X was already out. It was done when we filmed Pam before Edge X even came out. This time around, for the past 6 or 7 months, as you asked me to open the interview, this is what I've been doing. Every single day has been focused on, okay, well, how can I get this film out there? How can I get more people to try and see it? And that's been my life every day for the past 6 or 7 months, right? Since the end of July. So since we talked about it, since I announced it to people like, hey, I got this new movie coming. So I don't have my next film shot already. I have begun scripting my next film. I'm aiming to shoot this film about homelessness.
In New York?
Yeah, which is a very prominent thing here.
Sure.
However, I will say this. I never want my films to be single layered, right? So, I would like to write this film about homelessness, but also I hope that it's going to touch on some more aspects, more layers, more things. There's more to it than that.
Well, there's a reason, and every homeless person has their own reason for being in that situation.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that there's plenty of stories for you to dive into.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
J.R. Stokes, tell everybody where they can find you on the social medias and also where you can find the film on social media as well.
They could find me on Instagram, right? My profile is at Sid Cinematics.
Spell that.
SIDSCINEMATICS.
So it's Sid's Cinematics.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Same thing on Facebook as well. I'm on Facebook. And also YouTube, my YouTube channel, which is where Beautiful Pam will be available for free for anyone that wants to watch it on their TV or their smartphone or in their car and their Tesla. I was friends with someone who had a Tesla, and they pull up one day and they have my short film that I did before EdgeX, Headstone of Solitude, the short film I did. They have it playing on the big screen in the Tesla. I'm like, I've never seen a movie played on a screen in a Tesla, but here we are. But yeah, you can watch Beautiful Pam on YouTube, on my YouTube channel at Sid Cinematics for free.
Is EdgeX available there as well?
Yep. EdgeX is available on there as well. And also, hey, check out Fascination Street podcast anywhere you listen.
Sure. Well, if you're already listening, then you found it already. JR, before I let you go, man, is there anything we didn't talk about or I didn't ask you about specifically that you wanted to talk about today? Did we cover Beautiful Pam pretty well and maybe a little bit of your career path so far?
I thought this was a great interview. You know, I thought you asked really great questions. You really did your research in terms of asking me things I haven't been asked before, and I had a really fantastic time chatting with you today, Steve. I thought you did an incredible job covering this film, and you know, I'm glad you took the time to watch it. I'm very grateful for that, and I hope other people listening right now can maybe take the time to check it out too.
Guys, I'm not kidding. Reach out to me. I will make sure that this DVD arrives at your doorstep. I'm not even playing.
Thank you.
Whether you have a Tesla or not, I don't care. J.R. Stokes Returns. We did it. Beautiful Pam is a wonderful film. Everybody should check it out. EdgeX is also a wonderful film. But if you only have 1 hour instead of 2, check out Beautiful Pam, and then you can go back and check out JR's work on previous stuff. Again, Sid Cinematics on YouTube, on Instagram, all the things. Man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day and your hectic chatting with an intimacy counselor schedule to hang out and let us get to know you a little bit better on Fascination Street, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. It's been a fantastic privilege being able to come back on here.
It's 100% my pleasure, and you have a great rest of your week.
You too.
Now, you rascal, go out there and touch some grass, dude. Go get some sunshine, man.
Thank you so much, Steve. I appreciate you taking the time to do this, man. Much love.
This is the second time, dude. I can't wait to see you for the third time.
I'll see you soon. Thank you, man. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Take care.
Bye, buddy. Opening music is from the song FSP Theme, written, performed, and provided by Ambush Vin. Closing music is from the song Kosh, written, performed, and provided with the blessings of Kosh Mojo himself. If you like the show, tell a friend. Subscribe and rate and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts. All episodes are available ad-free at patreon.com/Fascination Street Podcast. And don't forget to follow the show on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. And again, thanks for listening.